ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're back for another round of F2. This time we are at
Singapore?
Yeah, we're in Singapore. Thank you. Boosted Mess is here to keep me right, as always. Yeah, it took me a while there to get. I was like, is this Russia? No, it's Singapore. And we're doing it. It looks different because it's daylight. I'm used to seeing this track at nighttime, but yeah, we've got Boosted Mess here on the comms for this one. We've got a feature race and a sprint race, and we've got a full lineup. I believe Grassy Joe's is the 20th driver. He's probably going to join during qualifying here. And speaking about qualifying, we have Pretorius up front here. He's locked up a little bit there. Might cost him. Oh, and looked like he hit the wall as well there. But currently he is. Oh, he's dropped down to P3 there. I think that's because of that contact. But Dragon is P1 right now. So you can see these guys. This is live qualifying, one shot. Bam Beats is out. It's just Vinny is out, and it looks like Pretorius, Dragon, X Crystals, and even Bailey there, as well as his Campos teammate Tipsy Bob, all vying for the P1 spot here. A lot of fast drivers at the very top end of this grid as Pretorius is making his way through Sector 3, tiptoeing his way through this technical part of the track, trying to take as much curb as possible. I think Pretorius has some kind of connection issue here because he's lagging a lot for me, but he's currently P1, so it's not hurting his hot lap here. And he crosses the line, and he is indeed P1 there, but look at the margin from P1 to P2. Billy Thompson 50.280, so there you go, one shot quality out of the way for the feature race. And we were kind of talking before the race, whoever finishes in the top 8, then it's a reverse grid for the sprint race, so P8 in the feature race. If you finish there, you get to start in pole for the sprint race. So yeah, I mean, Boosted Mess here, a bit of a newcomer to F2 kind of stuff, but hopefully throughout this session then we can bring you up to speed. Basically it's a race of slightly slower cars, but really the field is quite tight in this one, so we do tend to see a bit more close racing between the drivers.
Yeah, especially this track as well. This should should have quite a few thrills and spills, I'd imagine. A very tight track, very long, twisty, tight track. So I would assume that if it's anything like the F1 series, we should be in for quite a bit of messiness potentially.
Yep, indeed. And yeah, there's a few other things to take into account. Obviously, you have to do a mandatory pit stop in the feature race. You cannot do that mandatory pit stop within the first 3 laps, though, so that's worth mentioning. What else have we got in store? Last week in Bahrain, we had some mega racing. I mean, I think at one point there was 3 wide around most of the lap. How those guys kept it on track and didn't have an incident, I have no idea. But yeah, I would highly recommend watching the Bahrain sprint race, especially the last lap. We had 3 drivers, 3 wide for most of that lap. So if the first race is anything to go by, we're in for a real treat here. And we were kind of discussing the championship standings. It is round 2, so we are starting to see who the movers and shakers are. But up top there was Bailey Thompson. He won both races last week. There was a bit of luck involved there, but of course Bailey, EGL driver champion, and very, very fast guy. I would say he's favourite now for the title, but it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, absolutely. There's all to play for still as the season's settling in just now. So yeah, some early moves being made by Bailey there. We'll see if anyone's got an answer to that in this race.
Yeah, and you can see on the screen there the tire selection from the driver. So we've got Super Soft that you wouldn't see in the F1 series. It's an additional tire compound available to the F2 drivers. Most of the guys have one for that Super Soft tire compound. We've got 3 drivers opting for this soft first tire run. Got Adiro there, aka Adam. It's just Vinny at the back there, and I saw another one, Shaka as well. He's rolling the dice, going for that longer stint for the first stint. And yeah, we're in for a pretty pretty dramatic race, I would imagine, here at Singapore. You can see how tight some of the track is, how technical it can be. So these guys will be.
Don't know if we've got a bit of desync there, sorry to cut you up, but Pretorius is ghosted and not actually currently at the front of the formation lap.
Oh, and there's someone off in the back as well. Someone spun out there. I think it's a... Is it actually? I'm not sure who that is at the back. Red and white car. I can't seem to pick him up on the broadcast here.
It's George. It looks like it's George. He's spun out coming around the corner there.
Indeed, yep, George. So he will get his grid slot back, but his confidence will not be doing very good right now as he has span on the formation lap. I sometimes joke that it is the hardest lap of the race, and there's George struggling there. We've got Max and Dr. Ufer both disqualified. They have come together on the formation lap, and I believe they're teammates as well, so they're going to have cold tires at the back of the grid, which isn't going to do them any favors.
Yeah, I think there'll be a couple of choice words in the voice chat if they're in one.
So
yeah, very interesting this.
Pretorius,
I don't envy these guys at all. These are very difficult cars to drive from when I've tried to have a go with them.
Yeah, I think turn one's going to be very interesting, but Pretorius is still showing as ghosted here, so we'll keep an eye on that as he's pulled up in his grid slot there. Everybody's in their positions, and we're going to have the lights up in a moment or two. Yeah, so 3, 4 lights, 5 red lights up on the screen. Pretorius is not ghosted any longer, which is a good sign. Actually, there is some shenanigans going on there as Pretorius is dropping down the field, but Billy Thompson gets off to a really good start, and he's got X Crystals just having to cut the corner there to stay up.
We've got one out already. We've got a spin on the very first corner there. That's Bajan there. That's gone around.
Yeah. So one casualty at turn 1. Oh, and Bajarn, yeah, he's got front wing damage there. He's picked up a lot of damage there.
There's bits almost falling off his car as he's driving.
Yeah, I saw that. It was kind of following him around the track here. But Billy Thompson, it's showing Billy Thompson on my screen as P1. Pretorius is struggling down in P5. His car is solid again. So
yellow flag. We've got another one. That's Vance is out, retired.
Oh my word. So it's all kicking off here.
Yep.
And there is a possibility of a safety car as well. We have a full course yellow. Do we have a safety car here? We have a virtual safety car. If that doesn't show on your screen, Boost message, hit pause and then come back into the game. I think it's a wee bit of a bug, that one.
Oh, yep. I see it now. Right enough.
But yeah, full course yellow, so safety, virtual safety car.
Good job, Codemasters.
I wonder though what happened to Pretorius. That's the biggest story so far. He's dropped down to P5, so he's having some issues. Picked up on that on the quali lap, but right now it's put him down into P5, so not completely out of the way of points here, but not the best to start as we're under green flag conditions. And Billy Thompson leads the charge here. He's got a 2.3 second gap to P2 right now, so he's loving this F2 series right now.
Yeah, he is not messing about at all, is he? He's on a mission today. Just looking down there, Pretorius isn't actually showing an interval time for me either. I don't know if he is on stream at all. Oh, and there's a spin and a crash. That's just near the penultimate corner there.
Oh, yeah, is that X Crystals?
It's Crystals. It's Crystals.
X Crystals span out, yeah, just before the final corner.
No. And he's unable to turn around with the traffic, so hopefully he doesn't get a disqualification there. No, it looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah, he's not much front wing left in that car, as Bajarn as well is pitted for a new front wing. X Crystals will have to follow him in there. And I tell you who's done really well is it's just Vinny. He's somehow got himself up to P9, and I believe he started around about P19, P18. He's on the back of these guys here. Got Nickelodeus in front, P7, Max P6, Adiro. Oh, okay, my timings are going haywire.
Yep, they should hopefully sort themselves out in just a second. I think that's just with Crystal's pittings kind of making a mess of things a little bit. Just trying to see who else pitted there with him. That was, oh, of course, yeah, Bajan from the very first lap there. So he's come out with the fresh front wing, and so has Crystals now. Yeah, correction, it's just Vinny up to P13, so I think he's actually P12 once you take
X Crystals out of the equation there. Kind of hard to follow this with the timing board being so random at the minute, but it looks like Bailey Thompson out in the lead, and he's stretching his lead even further. He's now 4.4 to P2. But I tell you what, Dragon is looking pretty feisty here in P3. He's on the back of McKender, who, I don't know if you saw the EGL tournament yesterday, but McKender representing LOR did an absolutely amazing job for them. He was constantly up at the front of the grid and got himself a few podiums.
Some phenomenally close racing in that race yesterday. It was incredibly good to watch. See, Dragon picks up a first time penalty of the evening here then.
Yeah, and Bailey with the fastest lap there, so he is loving life right now. Everything's under control. Got Pretorius lining up Dragon for a move. Is he going to go down the inside here? Max picks up another penalty himself, but yeah, Pretorius not able to get the move done by Dragon. Now we do have DRS open on this lap, and the first time these drivers will be able to take advantage of that
we see Max and Nicolodes are having a right good fight coming down the corner. It's going to go 3 wide possibly into the next corner here now, as I think that's Adam getting involved there as well possibly.
Oh.
Sorry, my mistake. That's Vinny that's getting involved. Oh, they crash, they touch.
Yeah, big crash there. It was Larson. Oh no, it wasn't Larson. It was Nicolides in the background. It just, I don't know what happened there. Was there contact, or did he just...
It doesn't look like he has any damage on his car though, which suggests to me that the damage we saw coming off was from someone else's car. So somebody else, I think, may have front wing damage.
Yeah, it's just Vinny has front wing damage confirmed. Front right end plate is missing. So he is not gonna like that one bit. And hell, so we've got a few battles forming here. We've got Icewind on the back of Dragon now. So Pretorius was able to get past Dragon and get that P3 position. Icewind now on the back of Dragon. So Dragon seems to be struggling in this early phase of the race.
We've got a little bit of a train there from Dragon back to Icewind and Tipsy Bob, as Icewind picks up a 3-second time penalty there as well. Interesting that we seem to be seeing so many penalties so early on. I wouldn't have put this track down as being one where you would pick them up so frequently.
Yeah, it's not really a track you would see penalties for, but I guess these guys are trying to maximize the... oh, and there's Dr. Ufer with another 3-second time penalty, so they're coming in thick and fast. But I think, you know, there's turn 1. You can obviously cut turn 1. There's Nicolitis with another time penalty. These are coming in thick and fast, so there's obviously a few points that are catching people out throughout the lap here.
Oh, we see another yellow flag in the very last sector there. I think that might be Gerla, possibly. Not quite sure what's going on there, but he seems to be okay. There's no damage to his car, and he gets underway again.
Pretorius now has made some gains on P2, so he's on the back of McKender. Pretorius, of course, qualified on pole, but had those technical issues, put him down to P5.
Oh, we've got Shaka and Nicolitis are going side by side now, coming down the main DRS straight. They're really fighting it out. Great sportsmanship between the two here, though. Teammates, of course, so keeping it very clean, which is good to see.
X Crystals as well gets past Bajarn for P17, so interestingly he's on 1 lap old sauce. They will go to the end, so we may see X Crystals come back in the later part of this race. As Pretorius, as I was saying before, he's right on the back of McKender and he's starting to hustle him, put a bit of pressure on him. So I'll follow this here, as it seems to be the closest battle on track right now, and it's for P2.
Yeah, it's got a few little sort of groups starting to form now. There's 2 or 3 very, very close groups that we're seeing appearing here. So fighting going on up and down the field, which is great to see, actually. Just see there's a bit of a train here. The Dragon, Icewind and Tipsy Bob train currently making its way across the start-finish line.
Oh, G. Correas is in the pit, so he's coming early for that pit stop. Larson, 3-second time penalty. Not going to help him at all. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with time penalties at the minute.
Got another yellow flag in the last sector there. Who's that? I'll just find out.
Oh, I guess Dr. Ufer, is
I
it?
think it
Yeah,
is, yep, and he's missing a wing, I think.
he's no front wing. Oh, yeah, he's a large section of his front wing is not currently on that car. And is he? Oh, is he going to stay out? Oh, I think that
Yeah,
would
he
be.
stays out.
That's definitely not the right move right now with that kind of front wing
No,
damage. Maybe he's
that's a
hoping.
very unusual decision.
He could well be hoping for a safety car, but I would have pitted myself there. I mean, this is going to lose him so much time. Dragon with another time penalty. He is struggling big time with these penalties.
Yeah, so unusual to see that kind of penalty activity here, but yeah, interesting one. As as we see another 3-second time penalty coming in there.
Yeah, currently Dragon with 6 seconds. Everybody else has
And
penalties 3
another
seconds. Dr.
Dr.
Ufer, yeah.
Place. Yep.
I'm running in lap 5 as well, so not even 1/3 of the way through this race. And it is, I'm just looking at this, and in an F1 car, it is quite hard to pass on this track unless you're in that, you've got a really good exit on those DRS straights, but F2 cars, I imagine it's going to be even slightly more difficult, because really you've got, Dragon pulls into the pits, and Icewind staying out, so Icewind is up to P4 for now. Dragon, bit of a slow entry to the pit lane box. Tipsy Bob as well is pitting. Tipsy is actually worth mentioning. He's got a decent pace in the F2 series. He's given up his F1 seat, and this is his full-time gig right now. So he is putting in a bit of practice for these ones, and I'm expecting to see some good position finishes from Tipsy Bob. He was very unlucky last week. He was on for a podium, I reckon, but got taken out by Light Cruiser.
Oh, we've got another yellow flag in the 3rd sector.
I think that's Dr. Ufer again,
Dr.
isn't it?
Ufer again, yep. He is not having a good time. Of course, he's still nursing that front wing damage from his first spin earlier on. So he's not actually made it back around to the pits yet. He's currently trying to do just that. And we have another yellow flag in the 1st sector, and it's his teammates, Max this time.
Oh dear.
Also with front wing damage now, so both cars
dear.
really struggling here.
Yeah, not a good start for these guys. I'm trying to figure out what the team name is. I'm not really good with F2 team names. Is this Prima or I don't know. The blue car.
Yeah, I can't help you too much with that either.
But yeah, the blue car team is not doing good. X Crystals though is up to P14, so he is making some inroads as everybody else is starting to think about pitting. So we've had a lot of stops there. We've still got the top 8 of yet to pit. So we will see. We'll see these guys starting to pit over the next few laps, I reckon.
Oh, we've got a bit of action with Shaka and Dragon coming down the DRS straight now. Side by side into the corner there. I think we've got Shaka just on the inside. Dragon is now on the inside for the next corner, so he's able to hold that position.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Sorry, that was Tipsy Bob just got past Shaka there.
Oh, that was. Yep. My mistake. Yep.
P9. So Dragon just ahead there. So these guys, Shaka still has to pit, so they really had to get that move done and quickly and not get held up too much by these slower guys who are just about to pit. Shaka in the pits then, as expected. Oh, and Shaka actually hitting the wall as he came into the pit box.
Oh no.
No damage for him, but yeah.
The two Prima Racing guys as well. They've been driving together for quite a bit in this race actually. They've been going really well, very close together and giving each other plenty of space still. We see another 2 set of time penalties coming in. 3 sets of time penalties coming in. So Max now has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's a horrible one to get. It's so easy to avoid. It's always one of those ones where you kick yourself when you pick one up. And Max actually DNFs.
So two guys out of the race, and I'm looking at Adiro. He's currently P1. He still has to pit, so this isn't track position, but he opted for the harder tire compound for his first stint. So I reckon he is going to start thinking about Let's see. The super soft runners came in around about lap 6, lap 5, 6. So he's probably going to stay out till lap 10, 11. And then he's got that super soft
Oh,
stint.
Bajan's no longer in the race. I missed that. I don't know where that happened, but yeah, another DNF there.
Oh dear. Down to 16 cars, so it's a race of attrition, this one. In the F1 series, it is it's quite the race. I mean, it's like 36 laps or something. So 17 laps. Feature race in Singapore is long enough, and they've got a sprint race after this, of course. Currently,
I'll say it's quite incredible how spread out the field is, and yet how much pockets of action there still is all the way up and down the grid. It's really good to see.
the last of the super soft runners in the pits. So Larson in the pits there, getting a set of softs on for his final stint, and he's dropped right down the order, but he will have these fresher tire compounds on. I think he's going to come out, run about P11, P12.
Icewind and Nicolaitis with penalties. These are really flowing in quickly now.
Yeah, it's just so difficult whenever you're trying to get your braking right. Especially, I imagine turn 1. You could just, if you just brake too hard, or you get your steering input a bit wrong. And I'm seeing not a Mercedes, but Dr. Ufrig again struggling at the back. He's no front wing still, so he's just been into the pits, put a front wing on, and he's came out, and he's got some damage to his front wing again.
Yeah, I'm just watching the fight between Tipsy Bob and Icewind, which seems to be slowly getting a bit more hectic as we go. I'd expect to see Tipsy Bob challenging for that position very soon.
Oh, and look at it.
Into the DRS straight now.
It's worth mentioning here, Boosted Mess, for those pit stops, Pretorius jumped McKender, and he's actually got a massive gain on him. He's 3 seconds ahead of McKender now, where he's just before the pit stops there, he was only about half a second behind McKender. So Pretorius up to P4 for now, and looks like a P2 for track position once Adiro and Vinny pit off those softs.
Yep, so his strategies really seems to be working out for him well, which is really good after that slightly shaky sort of qualifying, is he connected, is he not situation.
Hammer in chat is saying the SS is back. No, please no, the war's over, man. Like, just let it go.
Bailey sets a fastest lap of the race so far.
Dr. Ufer with a time penalty there. He's the last of the blue car team. Max is DNF'd, so he's at the back, P16. He's not doing too good in this one, but he will have the sprint race after this. And this is what I loved about the F2 series, is that if you did bad in the feature race, you got a second chance with that sprint race.
So the closest battle on track currently is still the Icewind and Tipsy Bob fight, I believe, is it? Oh, sorry, Dragon and Icewind it is now. To be fair, Dragon, Icewind and Tipsy Bob have been the three that have been fighting with each other for the majority of the race. It just seems to vary as to which one of the two is fighting at any one time.
Oh, Vinny with a 3 second time penalty.
Yep, that's another 3 seconds to add. My goodness, the rev bug is even more annoying in F2 cars than it is in F1, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself, and I'm seeing a car off. It's Larson. Is he pointing the wrong way? He is indeed. Does a 360 there and gets himself back on track. He does have front wing damage as well. And what's up with Vinny? Vinny's dropping down the order here. He's had an issue as well. I think he's span there.
He's missing part of his front wing as well, so also front wing damage. So another yellow flag in sector 3 there as well. That was Dr. Uther, but I suspect that was possibly him just going... No, he's missing his front wing. Is he still missing his front wing from before, or has he lost it again?
I think it's from before. He's probably stayed out. Adiro as well, with a time penalty up front, P1. He's still to pit. I wonder if Vinny's thinking about... Vinny's going to have to come in this lap and get a new front wing.
Yeah, Icewind is now really putting pressure on Dragon. He seems to have pulled away a little bit from Tipsy Bob. It was actually Icewind and Tipsy Bob earlier on that were fighting quite closely. He seems to have backed off a touch now, which has meant Icewind can catch right up onto the back of Dragon. 0.4 seconds apart now and coming up to the first DRS straight of the circuit.
Yeah, this is going to be a really strong opportunity for Icewind to put the move on. But the slipstream or the DRS effect here isn't as prominent with the as you would get with the F1 cars. As you can see, the wing is quite smaller, so the overspeed effect you get isn't quite as much. And you can see this; he's not really closing up too much here, even with the use of DRS. He does have
a
the
big lockup as well coming into that corner.
Yeah, that's a signature of these F2. Oh, and he gets it wrong there, and as he spun, he spun it out. Yeah, just pushing too hard. Tipsy Bob then gets past him, and Icewind drops a position. So he does have a bit of a gap behind him. He's got George just behind him, P8 right now. But Tipsy Bob then, he's made...
we see there's another yellow flag in the DRS straight. Is that Dr. Uther again? Is he DNF'd? Dr. Uther is DNF'd.
Yeah, he's finally out. I think it's coming out onto that DRS.
Oh yeah, he's tire off, wing off. Yeah, he's spun it into the wall there by the look of it. So yeah, less than ideal for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think with the F2 series, you know, there are some drivers that come in and they don't really put too much practice into it.
We've got a VSC on as well now. Sorry to cut you up there.
Yeah,
again, bogged out for me in the top corner, but yeah, full course VSC.
So this might play into the hands of Adiro, who could have pitted there, but decides not to. He decides to stay out. I probably would have tried to profit off that. He has that 3-second time penalty as well, but I mean, I wonder why he hasn't pitted. Bit of a strange call there from the pit crew to leave Adiro out. He would again sometime, and imagine, with that virtual safety car. But yeah, let's see who else have we got. There's quite a lot of big. Oh, and Billy Thompson getting a big tank slapper on, getting onto the DRS straight here.
Watching Gerla and Shaka having a nice little scrap down at the back of the field there. Gerla seems to be slowly closing in on track now, so we'll see if he can make a move there now.
Oh,
very wide there, yeah. Very oversteery. It was a good catch though, very good catch.
Yeah, it's another kind of signature of the F2 series. I mean, you want to get on the throttle, obviously, in any car, you want to get on the throttle as early as possible, but these cars will kick you out at the back end, and it's quite easy to lose the cars. We saw from Icewind earlier on, and Nicolaitis, another 3-second time penalty on the board. So you're actually better counting the people who don't have penalties here. Is 1, 2, 3, 6 currently.
So we currently have Adiero on 3 seconds, Dragon has 6, Icewind has 6, Curious has 3, Larson has 3, Just Vinny has 3, Nicolaitis has 9, Girl has 3, and X Crystals has 6 seconds of time penalty. And Girl spins it.
Oh, he does indeed, yes. Caught that on the broadcast, he'd be glad to know. But yeah.
Very lucky not to hit any walls there, so no damage for him, thankfully, but his tyres will be a bit hot now.
And Shaq will be glad of that, although that is his friend. And Adiro is in the pits, so he's coming to the pits. Bailey reassumes the lead of this race, and he's got a massive advantage here to Pretorius, just under 6 seconds. And where does Adiro come out? He's down to P4, P5 at the minute. Tipsy Bob is on the start-finish race, so probably going to get him as well. Icewind maybe. I think he's going to come out in P7 maybe. P8 it looks like.
I think he's going to lose more than that. Yep, P9 now.
Yeah, so he is on the super soft tires. He will be absolutely rapid. We'll keep an eye on him at the back of the field. He comes out 4 seconds behind P8.
Oh, and Icewind has spun again. Sorry to cut you up there. Icewind has spun again just after the first set of corners there, and he's lost a bunch of positions.
He's still got his front wing intact, but yeah, that is not good. I mean, he is P9 now. The only saving grace here is if he finishes P8, he will be on pole for the sprint race. Nicolaitis is out.
Back in the last section. Yep, I was just going to say that.
Oh, it's on the final corner. Yep, on the right hand side there. So Shaka's teammate is out. And Shaka up to P12.
Looks like a little bit of snap oversteer and then a correction into the wall by the look of it.
And here's a battle here, Foreman. I got Dragon on the back of McKender. 0.6 is the gap right now. Dragon looking pretty rapid. And I want to keep an eye on that P8 position of Adiro on those fresh super softs. Once he gets them up to speed, I reckon he's going to close down on these on the top 7 guys. I wonder how far he's going to get up the field though. Is he going to? I reckon he could probably get as far as P6 if he plays his cards right.
Yep, he'll be pushing like crazy now.
I'm just going to ride on board with Dragon for a lap here as he's right behind McKender, and this is the closest battle we have on the track at the minute. He has DRS available to him, but as you can see, it's not really that great an effect in the F2 cars, so really you have to be right on the back of someone to make that count. Oh, a McKender and a Dragon as well. Oh, I don't know if you caught that yourself there, man, but they went sideways out of turn 2.
If they're a little bit closer, we could have had a bit of tandem drifting there. That would have been good to see.
Synchronized drifting.
Yeah, as you say, closest battle on track that we currently have there, Dragon and McKender. The rest of the grid seems to have thinned out a little bit and spread out a bit.
Yeah, Pretoria's not really making too much gains on Bailey Thompson. I think he's closing in by a 10th this lap, and
oh, we have a yellow flag in the last sector. I think that's Shaka this time.
Shaka's gone for a spin, no front wing damage for him, but he is at the back now, P14. And really, I reckon he was probably just pushing that a little bit too hard on those super softs, and it's came back and bit him in the ass, as they say.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself for that mistake.
Oh, McKender gets it all wrong. Oh, and
they touch.
Yeah, Dragon goes into him, so Dragon picks up a lot of damage there. Front left end plate is gone. I don't know if McKender got any damage from that. He did indeed. So P3, P4, both nursing front wing damage. Are they going to stay out, or are they going to try and nurse these cars to the end?
This is good. I mean, this is a gift for Tipsy Bob now. Surely you have to imagine that he's going to be in a good position now to pick up from this.
Ooh, and Dragon just going into the wall there from the penultimate corner, and he does stay out. Both cars are staying out. So let's keep an eye on this gap to Tipsy Bob. I don't know if Tipsy Bob will know about that damage that these guys are carrying right now, but
that gap is closing rapidly.
Yeah, that's going to spur Tipsy Bob on, and I mean there's a podium up for grabs here. As it stands, Dragon already has that 6-second penalty, so Tipsy Bob really just needs to get past McKender to get this podium in the bag. And Adiro is making moves as well. He's passed Correas, so Adiro is getting up to speed on these super softs. The car is a bit twitchy as he tries to milk the maximum performance out of these tires. X Crystals at the back there, 3-second time penalty, but Adiro now has George in his sights, and Dragon is passed by McKender, so Dragon is really struggling.
I saw somebody ran wide there, I think, on one of the corners, and that would have been Dragon then, which allowed McKender to just pop through.
Oh, and look at Tipsy Bob, he's right on the back of these guys already, almost within the 1-second range. He is indeed in the 1-second range of these guys, so we'll have DRS available to him, and he has that nice, lovely looking front wing at his disposal, and the guys in front obviously nursing a lot of damage.
He's caught them up at the perfect time there. DRS is open and he's straight past.
Yeah, Dragon actually just moved completely out of the way there. He didn't want any part of that. He knew there wasn't really a fight worth fighting.
Four laps to push now and catch and pass McKender. That's going to be his mission now.
Yeah, Billy up front.
Wonder if he's got a crew chief then that he already knows about the damage.
Yeah, Bob usually, I'm a good friend with him. He usually rides solo. He doesn't like anyone nattering in his ear. He just likes to have complete focus. But yeah, I was going to say there, Billy Thompson, he's kind of managing that gap. I mean, Pretorius has closed up a good bit, 5.3. But and Dragon is out. Dragon is out. Final corner, I believe that was. Oh no, in the pits. Dragon actually retiring in the pits, which is interesting.
That's unusual, isn't it? Yeah.
I guess he didn't fancy putting on a new front wing and just coming out in probably last position.
Adiro's now putting pressure on George. He's finally caught up now with him, only 0.3 of a second off.
Hammer in chat says, drags, why? Why? I echo that sentiment. Always race. Always keep the car on track. You never know, it's all practice. Asadero, yeah, he is on the back of George here, and he's looking pretty feisty. Where is he going to try and get this move done? He does have a DRS, a short DRS straight coming up. It's just Vinny as well on these super softs, but he's 7.6 seconds behind Ison and P8. So probably not going to get that move done. Tipsy Bob as well isn't making massive gains anymore on McKender. So McKender's damage isn't completely ruining his race right now. He might be able to hold on.
Adero just has a little wiggle there coming into the DRS straight, which just took the speed out a little bit, enough not to be able to make the pass there. So he's still stuck behind George there. As you say, the gap between McKender and Tipsy Bob still decreasing, but not anywhere near as much as it was before. So he's really going to be up against it. They're almost on their last lap. He really doesn't have much time to make that position now.
Yeah, Dragon saying in chat, my wing was gone. We are aware of that, but yeah, like to see guys keep it on track and just, you never know what might happen. As Adero lines up George here, he's got the DRS available to him, but as you can see, again, not able to make the move. He gets another opportunity here on this. Oh, and George car losing a bit of traction there. You can see.
Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah, he's going to go on the outside. Oh, and a bit of contact there as well, midpoint of the corner, and Adero is off.
He spins.
He's in the wall, and he's got front wing damage. And did he reset the car there? His car did jump back on track pretty quickly, but he does have front wing damage, and he has Icewind behind, so he's got another lap after this one. The nurse says car home. So might be able to hold on
back
that
at the front, Tipsy Bob is now within a second of McKender. Gap is now 0.7.
Yeah,
so he is still closing that gap, and just in time for the DRS straight as well, which is going to allow him to close up even further. He might just do this, you know.
I think Bob doesn't know about the front wing damage, so he's probably thinking, you know, he's happy enough to P4, but if he knew he had front wing damage, he would definitely be going for this right now, because McKenna is having to limp a bit home in that damaged car. I'm seeing two guys in pits.
Hats off to McKender for being able to squeeze that kind of performance out of this car with damage still, so he's actually driving phenomenally well for the condition that his car's currently in.
Shaka and Larson there at the back are pitting, so they're probably going to go for... I was going to say they're going to go for a fast lap, but they can't, because this is essentially the last lap of the race. Oh, and we do have a battle here for P10. It's X Crystals on the back of Gurla. Seems to be the closest battle on track right now, but X Crystals with that 9-second time penalty means he is not going to get that P10. Not off track anyway. So let's have a look at Billy as he's making his way to the flag. It's the last lap. He's got a 4.3 second gap to P2 Pretorius, who has managed to do some damage to that interval, but yeah, I mean, at the minute Billy's just really managing that. He's not having to push too hard. Oh, and
he's just cruising in this race, I think, now, isn't he? I mean, we haven't really spoken much about Bailey because he's literally just been out ahead and controlling the pace of the race, really.
Yeah, he's really been dominant in this session. We'll see if that carries over into the sprint race. So Pretorius did get a bit of a bad start there with the technical issues, so we kind of lost out on that battle between Pretorius and Bailey, but Pretorius doing good. Damage limitation to get himself back up to P2 again, and Tipsy Bob just not able to get close enough on the back of McKenna to make a move. So it looks like McKenna is going to get this podium some way, somehow.
Crystals has got DRS and he's going side by side with Gurla now. He's going around the outside. is he going to make it stick? Just about. A lot of respect between both drivers, has to be said there. Driving very cleanly, but this puts him on the inside now. Gurla on the outside. There's a touch, and Crystal spins ever so slightly. Oh, run slightly wide there. So Gerla has managed to pull away again.
Yeah, and while that was happening, Billy Thompson crossed the line in P1, Pretorius P2, and McKender able to hold on to that P3 position. I think once Bob finds out he had front wing damage, he'll be kicking himself, but P4 for Bob. So a lot of points on the table for him, and now we see these guys behind from P5 to P11, all with time penalties, so let's see how they filter out. George does pick up P5, we've got Chris with P6, his teammate. So good points for the Greek contingent team. Adiro able to hold on to a P7. Well, Icewind just behind. So Icewind will get that P1 pole position for the sprint race. It's just Vinny crossing the line. He's going to get himself P9, and then Gerla will take that P10 regardless of this battle between the two of them. And I mean, X Crystals is showing some great pace here at the latter part of this race.
Gerla wide.
Yeah, and
so
X Crystals
makes the move, so he gets the boasting rights in the end.
Yeah, so on track P10, but Gerla will pick up that. I believe that's the last points paying position. Hammer in chat is saying 10-second penalty for Larson. I have no idea how he did that. I was on the penultimate lap there, but yeah, Larson not having a good day. But Tipsy, the story of the race, Tipsy just missing out on that podium position.
Yeah, I think when it gets to interviews, I'll let you tell him the good news.
So interesting enough race, but I tell you what, we're in store for a brilliant second race because the sprint race is always just that wee bit more interesting, you know, because of the reverse grid from P1 to P8. So you're gonna see Bailey start in P8, then Pretoria's P7, well, Icewind in P1, Adiro P2. Shakes things up nicely, keeps things interesting. And of course there's no mandatory pit stop for the sprint race.
That's quite the points haul that we can see there now from this race for Bailey Thompson. A full 27 points there gained from this race.
Yeah, and his teammate finished P4, so that does good for the constructors as well for those guys.
Absolutely. They're very much running away with it now at this stage. It's still very early days here, but yeah, the Campos Racing very much pushing ahead in this championship. Fastest lap as well there, I'm noticing. 152.3. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, Billy, he's quite the driver, even in the F1 series as well. You can see it. He's definitely got a talent for this. I think his first EGL tournament that he did, he won it, the driver championship, which is super impressive, especially for a guy his age. I think he's 14, 15.
That's it. Yeah, he's very young still, and yeah, beating all the older guys comfortably as well. Very talented. So as we wait for everybody to load in for the sprint race.
And there we go. We get to see the lineup for the first time. So it's Icewind P1, Adiro P2, Correas P3, George MS P4, Tipsy Bob P5, McKender P6, Pretorius P7, Bailey P8, Vinny P9, and Gerla P10. And let me see if I can get the tire information on screen.
So X Crystals is the only driver on the Supersoft. As we see, that's Dams Racing now. I think I've learned the blue cars disqualified again. So that's twice now that they've had a bit of a bump or something on the formation lap.
Yeah, those guys. They need to go back to the drawing board. I think put a few practice laps in.
Yeah, that's
practice your formation laps.
Not ideal at all.
Just practice your formation laps should be good. The rest will be easy.
Quite a quick formation lap here. Icewind is not hanging about. He's yeah, it's quite fast opening sequence here.
Yeah, it's quite the advantage getting that pole position for the sprint race. I mean, if he can play his cards right and keep ahead for the first corner, he should be okay for the rest of the race. Really, you want to build up a bit of a gap in the first 2 laps because DRS is open on lap 3. And I think
Vans is unusually far behind on this formation lap.
Oh yeah, see that on the map. Another thing worth noting is crystals on those super softs. Can the super soft do 12 laps? That is going to be the question for X crystals. If they can, I mean, maybe that's a bit of a stroke of genius putting on those super softs, but I have a feeling that they're not going to last 12 laps.
Yeah, it's quite a gamble that. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that as the race progresses. But yeah, like I say, 12 laps. Fair distance to cover with those tyres. So Icewind has already made it back to the grid. Everybody else is still on their way.
Yeah, Van's not even at the final corner yet. He's actually ghosted for me, so I wonder if he is having technical issues on this. And this is Vans, the man who was eager for the F2 series to come back. And it looks like he's not in the car for this one. We'll see how that pans out in the race though. But this is the sprint race, and I'm going to let you call the start of this one, Boosted Mess, because you can do better than I.
Yeah, no worries. So lights coming on now. 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Everybody's ready. And we're away for the sprint race here in Singapore now. Looks like Icewind's had a decent start. Karius is still holding his second position. No, he's not. He's being mullered there. 3rd and 4th position coming up. We've got 4 wide going into the first set of corners. Contact and a spin there. That's Bailey Thompson.
Oh, it's Billy. Yes, Billy
spun out.
It was free wide, and he just got caught in the middle. And yeah, that's him right back in P19. So we'll keep an eye on that as he makes his way through the field. I don't think he has any damage though, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I think he's got away with that, but he has got it all to do now to get back up to the front. This is going to have to be one hell of a recovery drive from him.
Yeah, so Tipsy Bob was able to make up a couple of positions there. Karius was and it looks like Karius going out wide there. So Adiro and Karius are having a bit of a ding-dong here for P2, and that is great news for Icewind in P1. He will be able to stretch his legs there out front. He's bought himself a bit of breathing space, and McKender gets past It's Just Vinny. So this midfield pack are pretty tight right now.
And Bailey not wasting any time. He's already got himself back up to 18th again.
Yeah, George. I think George was P4, so he's right down to P19. He got caught up in that lap 1 incident. Bailey up to P17, Bailey up to P16. But look at this mid pack. They are bunched up pretty close right now.
There's quite a hell of a concertina effect going on into every single corner here. Everybody getting very close to the driver in front. Have to be very careful not to lose wings.
Yeah, Next Crystals is in the middle of this pack. He's only super soft, so he obviously wants to make them count. But as I said before, I think that they're going to fall off around about lap 7, and he's going to find himself in a bit of bother. But up front, Icewind is indeed building that gap. 1.5, he puts a fast lap on the board. And Tipsy Bob is... What is going on here?
Is this right? No, this isn't right. No, the timings are right.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like he's still in 4th position, if I'm counting the circles correctly on the map.
Yeah, he's got
position, sorry, he's in 5th.
Yeah, you're right. Pretorius in front, Correa's in front, and Adiro. So this lap, DRS is open, and Vans, what? Okay, the timings are just absolutely up the left here.
Yeah, we'll ignore those for this lap and the next. Seem to sort themselves out after a lap or 2, but yeah, for whatever reason, the first couple laps are always a bit messy. Oh, we've got two side by side. That's Gerla and Larson going side by side. Oh, and Gerla gets it all over the place there. Larson has gifted a position there. Oh, he's coming back on. Is he? Oh, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Who's that? I think.
Yeah, it was just a brief yellow flag there, so all okay for
everyone's through.
Oh,
they're all so close. This is a lot of action coming into the DRS straight now. Again, Gerla and Larson are touching. there's something funny going on with Max and Nikolaitis. I don't know if the stream picked that up, but they're kind of mounting one another somehow. I mean, that was really bizarre.
Oh yeah, that's
Some
the
kind
F2 mating ritual in live. That's how Skippy cars are born.
Trying to figure out if any of them have damage or if that was just a graphical error. That was really bizarre. Two cars sort of 2 wheels each in the air and bouncing off one another.
Nikolaitis gets passed by Billy Thompson. Billy Thompson up to P13, so Nikolaitis, the first guy to pick up a penalty. He's cutting the course massively here.
Oh, we got a spin there from Gerla. Gerla spun into the wall, and that's pulled out the yellow flag in sector 3.
Yeah, he's facing the wrong way. He's facing the wall right now. X Crystal's disqualified from the session. It's all kicking off right now. Nikolaitis retiring in the pits. And
X Crystal's blocking the pit lane because he's crashed into the pit lane entrance.
Oh my word. Okay.
he's just stuck that. Oh, that's awful. So that's the end of his attempt to pull back up. He'll be kicking himself. He's had a bit of a mare in these 2 races as Crystals.
Yeah, Dr. Roofer in the pits as well, so 17 cars remaining. Snellhangy says that
there's a position change there. Sorry to cut you up again. A position change between Tipsy Bob and McKender as Tipsy Bob manages to just dive it down the inside for
nice.
5th position.
Nicely done there, yeah. Oh, and McKender is under pressure now from Dragon. So we saw this in the first race. These guys were pretty close together, battling out on track. And it's the same as carrying over into the sprint race.
Ah, yeah, and I think I cut you off earlier as you were talking about Snelly Henke there. I'm just noticing what he's
yeah, it looked like race porn, yeah. Yep. This is why the F2 series is a bit later than the other series. Oh, and another yellow flag. Is that... oh, gone.
There's a lot of concertinaing going on there coming into that DRS straight. It looks like we've got vans on George currently. So he's putting quite a bit of pressure on George coming down the DRS straight there.
And Billy Thompson up to P10. What about it? He's back in the points. And not too far off Larson in P9. So Billy Thompson doing pretty good here to recover from that first lap incident. Oh, and I see a bit of front wing damage as well just ahead of him. So he has picked up front wing damage.
Wonder if that's maybe still a remnant from an earlier crash. Could that happen? I know that tires can sometimes be left on the track when there's a big crash.
I think it's just Vinny from the penultimate corner there. Just so easy to tap the wall there as you run out wide, and he has got a wee bit of damage on his front right. Gerla free second time penalty. He's not doing too good at the back in this one. But yeah, that's going to hurt Vinny massively. He was already dropping time to Dragon in P7. So I wonder if Vinny's going to maybe think about pitting. It's pretty much a death sentence if you pit in the sprint series, unless you get a safety car.
Well, Vinny's front wing damage now is a bit of a gift for Biz. We see another DNF there. Somebody else literally just flashed off the screen. Who was that? That was Dr. Uther in the last sector.
Yeah, virtual safety car for that one. So
yeah, I was just saying there, the damage that Vinny's got on his front wing now is a bit of a gift for Bailey as he tries to make his way back up the grid, as that's holding both him and Larson up, which should in no time at all put Bailey into 8th. Bob is making moves as well. He's within half a second now of Korea's.
Yeah, he's hungry for a podium at least. And Iceland and Adiro though look like they've got a pretty good controller. So Pretorius as well look like they've got that podium nailed down at the moment. We do have 7 laps to go, and yeah, like I say, Tipsy Bob. Drive through penalty for Korea, so that moves Tipsy Bob up to P4.
That's not what he will have wanted. That's like you say, just gifted Tipsy Bob the position.
X Crystal saying, yeah, he hit the pit lane. Yeah, there's not much more you can say about that.
No, it can be awkward on some tracks. They seem to jump out at you more on this track than they do on others.
Tipsy Bob then still on the back of Correas, who will have to come into the pits. I think it's 3 laps it gives you.
Max is in the pit lane. Max is pitting, and I'm not sure why. Did he have damage? He comes back out now, so he rejoins the track in 15th position.
He had a drive-through, that's what it was, because he didn't change his tires. Yeah, I see him on Bajarn. We've had to serve that drive-through. But let's run on board here with Tipsy Bob. He's right on the back of Chris, who will have to do that drive-through within the next 2 laps. And that will move Bob up to P4. But Bob is coming under a bit of pressure now from McKender.
Yep, who in turn is also coming under pressure from Dragon. So a nice little group here. In fact, it goes beyond that. You've then got Vinny, Larson and Bailey. They're all just about within a second of one another.
Oh, Bailey going very deep into the hairpin there, almost catching the back of Larson's car. And that drops him down a bit from P9. Need to be careful. This concertina effect does catch you out.
There's a huge lockup from him as well that will have put a fair bit of wear onto his tyres. McKender's now all over the back of Tipsy Bob. He really needs to get this move done, or hope that Correas puts it in the pit lane on this lap. We will find out shortly.
Oh, Correas staying out, so that's interesting.
But Pretorius puts in a fastest lap of the race so far. In fact, Pretorius is now within a second of Aggiero there. Seems to be catching quite quickly, in fact. So I've got a yellow flag.
Yeah, that's Bajarn. But Billy Thompson getting past Larson to take P8.
Yeah, Vinny pitting there as well. Fresh set of tyres. Super softs are going on the car there.
Oh, and look how much Pretorius is on the back of Deros right now. This P2 position is up for grabs. And Adiro getting a massive tank slapper on, and it almost allowed Pretorius to pull alongside, but Adiro able to hold on to P2 for now.
Yep, and then we've got the 4 just behind them are really bunching up now. It's this is going to be tight coming into the DRS section.
I love this overhead shot as well. I got Pretorius and Adiro top down view, and it's yeah, I really love those shots. Bahrain as well, they do a really nice overhead shot there. But Pretorius starting to push Adiro around these corners. He's putting on the pressure big time. And you know what happens when you put pressure on. If you put enough pressure on, the guy in front will crack eventually.
Especially with these cars as well, it's so easy to make a mistake. Just keeping an eye on 4th position down to 7th. See, McKender is putting a hell of a lot of pressure on Tipsy Bob still, as he's desperately trying to cling on to the back of Correas.
Oh, Correas is
coming in the pits now.
Yep, so that drive-through is going to be served, and that moves Tipsy Bob up to P4, but he's got work to do. McKender and Dragon on the back, and now Dragon's closer than ever to McKender, but not able to put a move on there. You can see Billy in the background in P7 starting to make his way up and close in on these guys as they battle. And are we going to see a move from Dragon here? No.
Just looking further up, Pretorius is now closer than ever as well. DRS open, he's going for it. He's going down the inside of Aggiero there. He makes it stick as well. Oh no, but he's coming back on the inside of Pretorius. Pretorius is being pushed out wide there. Aggiero looks like he's going to take the position back, but Pretorius is now on the inside for the next corner, so we're going to have another switchback. Oh, they're so close, and Aggiero just taps the wall there. But keeps the position. He's back ahead again. Pretorius is now back behind Aggiero again, and back down the inside possibly. No, he thinks better of it, slots him back behind again in through the chicane section. Now we're going on to the DRS straight, so we might see another move potentially there.
Yeah, some great racing.
Fantastic fighting, yeah. And just enough room and no more being left by both of them. It's really good to see.
Oh, and Pretorius, yeah, he's going to go down the inside. He has to cut the curve there, but Adiro able to carry more speed through there. I think Pretorius was just a little bit unsure about that one, and not able to get the move done. But he definitely is putting maximum pressure on Adiro right now, and if Adiro can hold on to this, fair play to him.
Yeah, he's desperate to get past, isn't he? Really good to see. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2 as well now. I think that's Rajan. It is. Looks like he's just gone straight on there. Outbraked himself, perhaps. And Larson picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Vans as well,
Meanwhile,
P11. He's right on the back of G Korea, so P10 up for grabs here.
Billy Thompson is now slowly joining onto the back of this Tipsy Bob McKender and Dragon train. He's within a second now, so this DRS section is going to really help him close that gap, and then he's going to be right involved in there as well.
Yeah, this is ramping up for a grand finale. You get these 4 guys battling it pretty hard.
There's a move going on up ahead there. It's McKender. Oh, someone's wide. That's Tipsy Bob's gone wide. Oh, and that's let McKender through. They're now side by side into the next corner. Tipsy Bob trying to come down the inside of him because McKender's going to be on the inside for the next corner now. We're having a repeat of Pretorius and Agiero. McKender making that move back and holding that position. They're now also close coming into the next set of corners. All 4 of them. Bailey's now right on the back of them all now as well.
Oh, and Bailey goes for a move as well. He goes for a move up the side of Dragon there. A bit of a cheeky one, but... Oh, and Dragon hits a wall in the background. No damage there, but yeah, that was tight. I mean, it's not an overtaken spot, but Bailey saw a gap and went for it. And has got himself there. Yeah, he's got himself past Dragon, so he's behind his teammate right now. And I wonder if these guys are thinking, if Tipsy's thinking, I'm gonna let my teammate pass because he's ahead in the driver championship. But we'll see how this pans out.
Well, Bailey looking slightly racier as well, so the logic could be to release Bailey, let him have a go on McKender, and hope that as he's maybe forced McKender out wide, Tipsy Bob could potentially take advantage of that and slip through with him. So just looking at the timings there, and Pretorius is very close to the back of Agiero again on the DRS straight coming over the start-finish line. Is he going to go for a move? He does. He's looking. He's looking.
Oh, and Adiro goes wide, picks up that 3-second time penalty, so that's game over for him. Looks like he will get P3 as it stands currently, but yeah, Pretorius will know that he's got that time penalty, and I think it's only a matter of time now before he gets past him, as Adiro doesn't...
Drop down a position. Sorry to cut you up there. Bailey's lost a position to Larson somewhere, and a hell of a lot of time. I think he went wide or something somewhere maybe. Oh,
and he's cut front wing damage as well. Front right is missing. Oh, and Pretorius is past Adiro. Yeah, he goes on the inside, and this time he makes the move stick. Oh, and Adiro has come back at him. He goes on the inside. There was a bit of contact there, and it threw Pretorius off his line. And Adiro gets past. So Adiro is not giving up without a fight here, even with that 3-second time penalty.
Just as you were calling that as well, Gurla spun and lost his front wing on the last corner, and immediately the same time Shaka spun after the first set of corners. Does not look like he has any damage though, so I think he got away with that. So it's all happening here, all the way up and down the grid. 3 laps left as well. You kind of almost want this race to go on a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. Vinny 3-second time penalty, but I'm watching this battle here between Pretorius and Adiro. Seems to be the closest one on track right now, though we've got a pretty hefty battle in for P4.
Oh, Pretorius picks up a penalty as well now, so suddenly the pair of them, they're equalized.
Oh dear. Okay, so this is the great equalizer, that 3-second time penalty, because these guys are now fighting for track position again. So, oh, and Dragon as well, 3-second time penalty. That allows Tipsy Bob a bit of breathing room.
And that gives Bailey Bailey is just... Oh, he's 6 seconds off now, but he has a clear track ahead. So if he's able to hang on as McKender did with his wing damage in the previous race, he might be able to take advantage of that. We'll see.
He's got that from wing damage though to contend with, so it's going to be a difficult ask of Bailey Thompson. Pretorius on the back of Adiro again. We'll have DRS, and he goes down the inside. Is Adiro going to try and fight this again? Adiro,
oh no, we have a yellow flag in the first sector. It's Bailey again. He's spun round.
Oh no, and this battle up front as well is kicking off. Adiro gets back past Pretorius. These guys are going at it, hammer and tongs. So Adiro is definitely not lying down for this one. He's not willing to give up P2 just yet.
Pretorius is coming back again now, throwing it down. Oh no, he wasn't. He was looking like he was going to throw it down the inside there, a bit like Bailey did in one of the previous laps.
Yeah, it's a high risk move, that one. So Pretorius, his wise head prevailed there, and he's going to try and line Adiro up as best I can. Oh, and he gets a bad exit from the last corner. Does have DRS, so able to catch up with Adiro once more, but he's only got 2 more chances.
Tipsy Bob has front wing damage.
Oh no.
Tipsy Bob is missing his front left end plate there on the wing. I'm not sure where he's picked that up from. There must have been a tap somewhere. So I think, did Dragon have damage as well, or is he already dealt with that? No, Dragon's okay.
Yeah, Dragon's fine, but he does have that 3-second time penalty. So I mean, Tipsy Bob can still hold on to P5 here, but he does have
another yellow flag. Who is that? That is Vinny. Vinny has spun around just on the start of the 3rd DRS straight. Doesn't look like he has any damage, and he gets back underway.
So we're on the penultimate lap here, and Pretorius has 1 chance after this one, 1 lap after this to get past Adiro. So let's see if he can do it on this lap. And he's got DRS, and he's pretty tight on the back of Adiro. Which side is he going to go down? Adiro seems to prefer that inside line, and Pretorius calls his bluff there. Oh,
they touch.
And
no, it looked like there was some contact there.
Yeah, Adiro's very good at carrying speed through the corners, I've noticed. Very confident with that, and holds on to P2 once more. And I tell you someone who we haven't mentioned much at all, and I don't want to put a commentator's curse on him, but Icewind out front, 8 seconds in the lead, and just loving life right now. He's just chilling.
Yep, he's looking very comfortable. That 8th position finish from the previous race looking to be somewhat of a tactical one, perhaps.
Yeah.
No, he's making that count.
Oh, and Pretorius and Adiro battle continues here, and Pretorius not able to get a good run on that last straight. And this will be the final lap coming up after this sector 3. So who is going to come out on top for P2? As McKender gets a 3-second time penalty, and that... Oh, that's going to be huge, because Tipsy Bob is only 2 seconds behind McKender. I wonder if McKender has front wing damage as well.
He does not. McKender looks like he's got a car that's fully intact. Tipsy Bob's still carrying that front wing damage on his car, and Dragon is all over the back of him as well.
Yeah, so that might cost Tipsy Bob if he has to fight off.
Pretorius and Adiero side by side over the start-finish line. Pretorius has sent it down the inside into the first corner, and he's made it stick.
Oh.
He's run slightly wide, and Adiero's coming back at him now.
Oh, and a bit of contact as well. He does nudge Pretorius' car, unsettles Pretorius' car, but Pretorius is able to hold on that P2. And now it's going to be Adiro with the DRS. And Pretorius getting a really good exit onto the DRS straight here. And I think Pretorius, if he's wise, he's going to guard that inside line. And he does indeed. And Adiro trying to center on the outside, but Pretorius making his car as wide as possible.
Oh, he's switching back on the next corner though and trying to go down the inside, which is now going to become the outside of the following corner after that. No, Pretorius still able to cover him off though.
But Adiro's got a good run.
Not giving up.
Yeah, he had a good run there until he got a bit of a twitch. Oh, and there's contact again. And Pretorius will be feeling the heat right now. He's not going to be liking all this this contact with Adiro, but at the moment Pretorius is coming out on top here. And let's take a moment again.
Oh, he's very wide. Adiero very wide and squirrely there coming down the straight. He's lost a whole load of time to Pretorius now as a result.
And what happened behind as well, Tipsy Bob is down to P6, and he's not going to get that P4 position.
Yeah, I think that front wing damage is really hampering his race right now.
Yeah, so P5 it looks like for Tipsy. But let's go up front with Icewind as he makes his way through the final sector. No time penalties, led from pole. And he's going around the final corner here. He'll do so tentatively. He does not want to spin on the final corner. And that's a win for Icewind in the F2 series. Great to see. And Pretorius with a hard-earned P2. As he crosses the line with that time penalty, will not have any effect on that result. Adiro P3, McKenna P4. And we're going to see, I think it's Tipsy Boy's going to take that P5, which he does indeed.
As we see a spin on the start-finish line there from Dragon, a celebratory sprint into the wall.
Larson P7 then, and we're going to see George in P8. Billy with a good effort, I would say, on his recovery. Oh, he
Bailey
does.
takes 8th from George.
He does indeed, yeah. So
George is dropping down the grid still. But yeah, tough race from Bailey there. Also carrying front wing damage at the end of the race.
And I think that only the top 8 get points for the sprint race. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But let's see. Billy is saying he lost his rhythm. He should have been more patient at the start, he says. But
you know what? Considering the recovery drive that he did have at the start there, that was a hell of a good drive. And I think he picked up that wing damage not fairly early on, but I think he was one of the first to pick up wing damage towards the end of the race and then carry it through to the finish. So, I mean, to still finish in that position after the spins and drama that he's had, still an incredibly good drive.
Absolutely, yeah. And Icewind with a long-deserved victory.
Yep, an 8.9 second gap, I believe it was, as he crossed the line as well. So incredibly commanding there to just build that gap within 12 laps. Really impressive stuff.
Billy's dad in chat actually was saying about he'd lost his rhythm and he should have been more patient at the start. But hey, 3 wins from 4 races. It's not too bad. Not too bad. You can't win them all, as they say, unless you're Hamilton.
I think he still comfortably has the lead in this championship as well. So I don't think he'll be too bitter about that. Yeah, you're right. Bailey picks up the single point there for 8th position.
I'm just wondering. I'm preempting Icewind's interview. Like, is he going to be happy about his win? I don't think so. But
or is he going to complain that he could have gone faster?
Yeah. I was so slow today. You finished first. Yeah, but I was so slow. No. Stop talking.
No, that's one hell of a gap that he pulled there. Like say in a sprint race too. That's really impressive stuff.
Yeah, he did everything right. Led from the get-go. 15 points for BWT. High Touch Grand Prix getting 14 points for that one for P2, and also his teammate Larson P7, so 16 points in total for the High Tech team. Now I know Pretorius has taken up a full-time seat for the High Tech team, and Pretorius, as we all know, is a rapid race driver, so I imagine he's going to be contending for the championship. But we have a number of other guys here, as Icewind has demonstrated, Adiro as well, showing great pace, so the season is a long one, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, that was a cracking couple of races there. I think some really good fights all the way up and down. Dare I say it, more fights that I've seen in that race than I have in some of the recent F1 races. Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, it's a fun format, especially the sprint race reverse grid feature. I do enjoy that a lot. We're going to see it's going to be a bit of a different kind of calendar for the F2 series. I'll just bring up that information for you now, but let's see, F2. So the calendar is, the next race will be Bahrain. Again, we had Bahrain in the first round. I wonder if that's Bahrain short. I'll have to figure that out. Austria is round 4, Netherlands round 5, Britain round 6, Belgium round 7, Brazil, Canada and Japan rounds 8, 9 and 10. So yeah, some interesting races ahead. So who shall we bring in for our first interview? I think we'll bring in Vladimir Putin, aka Billy Thompson, and I've just moved him into the wrong chat. That's the right chat. Hello Billy, hello, how's it going? Congrats on the feature race win. The sprint race not going exactly as you planned it, but A+ for effort. Just talk us through the feature race win. How'd that feel?
Well, I don't know. I had a really good pace. I don't know whether it was on stream or not, because obviously it's qualifying, but I made a massive mistake in qualifying that cost me like 5 temps. So if it wasn't for that, I would have been pulled by looks of it quite some margin. But the feature race was good. Nothing really happened. Like Pretorius wasn't there for the start, so I got the jump on him, and that was it really. I just ran with it.
Yeah, the sprint race seemed to be a bit more exciting, although it didn't kind of work out your way. I mean, that first corner incident, you got sandwiched and spun out, and then found yourself in P19, so it was really damage limitation. But still, you coming through the field pretty well. It looked like you were starting to bother the guys at the front of the grid. But then talk us through what happened. We didn't catch that incident where you get the front wing damage, but obviously that impacted on your performance then from that point onwards.
I came around the corner and Tipsy was a little bit offline, so I could sort of see an opportunity to try and go past him. But in doing that, I'd gone for a tighter line, and I think two of my wheels were on the marbles, and I put the power down at normal, and that's what spun me.
So basically, it was Bob's fault, yeah.
No, it's not Bob's fault. It was just me going for something that I thought I could get, but couldn't quite get it. I still got the point though, so you gotta count your losses, I suppose.
Yeah, Bob, cheers for that one. Supposed to be teammates, supposed to work together.
Good day for Campos though. P1, P4, future.
Yeah, joking aside, I mean, you some really decent points there. Obviously, Bob didn't have the best first round, but he seems to have got it together for the second round. And I think we're not really seeing the true pace on track yet. I think he's got a race win up his sleeve at least before the season's out.
Yeah, he's gotta get past me first though, so. We'll see.
I like it. Yeah, so next round is, I see it's Bahrain again. Is that Bahrain short, or is that we're running Bahrain?
Bahrain short.
Okay, that'll be interesting. A very short track, but we're going to have a bit of an extension on the laps then. How are you feeling about it? Have you done Bahrain short in the F2 car yet?
No, but I assume it's just that corner, and then like maybe some set of changes, like some double wings, but it should be pretty similar. And obviously, we know what happened at Bahrain full, so hopefully I can replicate that.
Easy money.
Yeah, easy claps. Like these guys are awful.
Yeah, well, here, good effort today, and look forward to seeing you in the next round. I think Boosted was calling it on the stream. You have a massive gap now in the driver championship, so
23 points.
Yeah.
That's a very comfortable place to be, I think, so early on into the championship. So yeah, really well done.
Could have been more if we went for the sprint, but yeah, I think I'm on 68 points. But Priz on 36, McKenda is on 23, and he got 23 again, so he's on 46.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 22 points, sorry.
Well, good stuff, and yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get speaking to you in future weeks. Until then, thanks for joining us in the commentary booth. Appreciate it. We'll speak soon.
My pleasure. Speak soon. Yep.
Yep. Well raced.
Alrighty. Let's bring in Winston Churchill, aka Icewind. So hello, Icewind. You've got Boosted Mess here. Myself in the commentary booth. We did enjoy that sprint race, and I'm sure you did too. Led from pole to the flag. Are you happy about that one?
I didn't hear a word what you said because I think you put me in the wrong channel accidentally, but so you'll have to repeat it.
Basically, I'm saying, are you happy with that win?
Yeah.
That's the wrong answer. Out.
Yeah. You're banned.
I didn't make mistakes, and that race, and it was kind of a freebie in that sense. But I mean, considering the feature race was basically my practice for this race, it probably showed because I was sideways like 3.5 times, I think. So yeah, I don't know. It was okay. by like the last 5 laps in this sprint race, I was just because I saw the gap is like 7 seconds behind me, and they had penalties, so I just focused on keeping it on track and maybe for once putting it in the first position. But yeah, I'm not gonna get overly excited about this. I made that mistake once, and I was put down for that, and I will not do it again. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think as harsh as you are on yourself for the first race there, I think that worked out so beautifully for you in the sprint race there, and especially with Aguero and Pretorius were having one hell of a fight behind you. So that just gave you the chance to just run away with it, and it was an incredibly commanding drive from you in that race.
Yeah, I just didn't make mistakes in that one. Like in the feature race, I had a lot of issues locking my rears, and I don't know if you caught them on the stream, those spins that I had. I spun like 3 times.
2 of those we got, yeah.
Yeah, and then I said 3.5 before, because I, like, already before those spins, I was, like, hugged the wall at the end of the back straight in the right-hander. Because I just locked up the rears, and the car just slid to the wall, and I was like, please, no damage. And I didn't get any damage on any of those hits, so... or they were just spins, I didn't hit anything, so... lucky in that sense, but yeah. Quali lap was I think my 4th lap on this track and this car, and I was worthy of it. I hit the wall and I had a yellow wing on my lap, but I still somehow got P6 there because I guess everybody else also binned their laps. I don't know. It was acceptable, I guess.
So there you go.
No, let's take that back. It was a race.
It was a race.
I will not give it any adjectives because I'm sure Timo will find a way to remove this win from me. But I don't know.
Never. No, it was. You did everything you needed to do. I kind of said at the start of the race. You obviously the first couple of laps you want to build up a bit of a gap. And hopefully the guys behind start fighting, and that's exactly what happened. You got a great getaway. And
I was really scared of the start though, because I still really haven't got a hang of how to start on these cars, and it's very different from last year's F2. Maybe you remember probably that, Chief. You just gave like full beans and then just sort of find the traction, but it's rather different than these cars, and I was really scared I'll probably spin at the start or something, but I got a pretty good start, and I don't know, then there was carnage behind me in the turn 1, I think, so I don't know what happened there, but I just focused on just braking early enough, not having any wheels on the curbs when I was putting power down, so I don't spin, and worked out this time.
Good stuff. And you've won an F2 before, I believe. And
Have I?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but I definitely remember you won a race. So I'm thinking like you've got a full-time seat here in this F2 series, I believe. Is that right?
I don't think so. I think I'm a reserve.
Right. Okay. Well, we need to hook you up with a full-time seat because I think you can be a contender, for the for the driver title.
Well, if I would probably have to do some practice at least before the races, and not do my practice in the feature race if that were to happen. But I told George that I will not be able to do like all of the races. Like next week, I think I will not be here, but we'll see how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully we do get you sort of a full-time seat because I'll say you're definitely one of the faster guys in the series. I know we were kind of lamenting about your race last week as well. Were you guys 3 wide for most of the final lap of that Bahrain track? It was pretty epic to watch and call. So more of that, please.
Yeah, we'll see if if I actually get to race somebody and not spin myself when I'm trying to race with someone, but it's F1 as well next week, isn't it? So
it is indeed back to the grind, yes. And I think that concludes the interview then. So congratulations on the win, first of the season. But I think there'll be more coming if you continue to drive it like you did today.
Oh, we'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. So yeah, we'll speak to you soon, I'm sure. Iceland, thanks very much for joining us in the commentary booth.
Thanks.
Good
Thanks.
race, really well done.
Let's see, and then finally we've got Pretorius.
Hello.
Hello,
Where do we
Pretorius.
start?
I know.
Where do we
Wow.
start? My God. What a race! What a race! That was so close in the sprint race at the end there between you and Adam. Constantly, fighting and really good respect between the pair of yous as well. So how was that for you?
Well, I disagree. There were a few moments I thought I wasn't too happy with Adam's driving, but I mean ultimately we both survived at least. So, but yeah, it was a fun race at least, and I got P2 in both races, and I think I got fastest lap in the sprint race as well, and pole position. So at least I get some good points, but I'm still a bit disappointed to not win any of the races.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough race for you there then, but no, it certainly gave gave everyone watching a lot to see. Certainly, really enjoyable to watch you two fight. I know you say it's maybe a bit tight there and maybe a bit dubious passes and whatnot, but I mean, you made the move stick at the end there, and you were able to hold on to that position once you were passed as well. So, yeah, no, great. It was a great fight from a viewing perspective, certainly.
Yeah, I hope so. I definitely enjoyed the racing, and yeah, I mean, I got some good points, so I still have. I think I'm still missing 18 points to Bailey, so there's definitely some catching up to do, but still some more races, so hopefully, yeah, I can get it done.
Yeah, do you know off the top of your head then how many points you would have at the minute?
I think it's like 36. I think that's what it said in the results screen.
36. Okay.
I think Bailey told me I was 18 points behind. I think he said.
Okay, yeah,
no,
because
wait, I'm not sure.
I definitely I can see you being a contender for that title. I was in the Iceland as well. There's a number of guys here. Obviously, Bailey got off to the best possible start last week, but there's a bunch of guys can really contest for the title here. You got McKender there as well, and Dragon looking pretty pacey. Diro put on a pretty good performance today, but you seem to be consistently up there. Well, obviously Bahrain. We'll not talk about Bahrain. A bit of a
Yeah.
false start, but that was a pretty dominant P2 from you today. Obviously had to work for it a bit with Adiro. There was a point in that sprint race though where Adiro got a 3-second time penalty, and I'm thinking, okay, well obviously you want to get the position on track, but failing that you will still get the P2, and then you picked up a penalty. What went through your head at that point?
Well, I wanted to get past because I still thought I had a chance of taking the win. I thought I had a chance of passing Icewind. Because we were in VC during the future race, and he said he spun like twice, or he had 2 full spins and a half spin. So I thought maybe something like that could happen. So I thought I had a small chance of still winning the race. But yeah, when I then got the penalty, I thought it was going to be pretty impossible. But then. Of course, then it was even more important to get past Adam, so I could at least get the P2. But then, because we were racing so hard, then I couldn't get past. We ended up losing time to McKinder, so there was a point where I actually thought that we were actually both going to finish behind McKinder because of that racing. But yeah, then luckily I think almost everyone got a 3-second time penalty in the end.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was great from our point of view, seeing you guys battle it out on track. There was a few times, yeah, it was a lot of contact as well I saw during that battle. Yeah, and it seemed to unsettle the car quite a bit certain times, but I mean, probably not report worthy, but yeah, it's about as hard racing as it gets, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on Adiro, and he was doing well to hold on to that P2 position. I actually thought once he got that penalty that he wouldn't fight too much from that point onwards, but obviously he had other things in mind. So next week we have Bahrain Short. How are you looking forward to that?
Well, I expect it's gonna be the ice train, like we saw in Extreme Rivals. But I still think it'll be fairly fun with the F2 cars.
Yeah, it'll be something different, and like in EGL, it really, like, I mean, it was a bit risky throwing that track in there, but it worked out in the end. I think it was actually one of the better races from the three.
Yeah.
So hopefully the same for F2 series. But yeah, Pretorius, good job on P2 in both races, and
Thank you.
we'll keep an eye on those standings as you start to impress your I don't know what I'm trying to say at the minute. I'll just let that one hang in there. But yeah,
Alright.
I guess I'm just saying thanks for joining us in the
I know what you
commentary.
mean.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah, thank
speak
you.
soon, okay?
Yep.
Okay, boosted mess. So I think that rounds it up for now. Very interesting. Oh, I've got Bob. Right, let me see. Bob says in chat, Chief ignores me in that list. I know where you live. Listen, Bob, if you watch the stream back, I was singing your praises, okay? And actually, I do think you're a contender for the title as well. And I'm not saying that just because you're in chat now. But yeah, I would say you and Billy, definitely a strong team. And I can definitely see you guys getting the constructors at least. But as I keep saying, it's a long season. Anything can happen. And bar end short next week. We'll see what happens there. But for now, it's...
Just slightly off topic there. Have you seen the picture that Hammer posted into the Discord chat? So this was a screenshot. If you cast your mind back to that glitching, car bumping, accident mating ritual thing that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if are you able to get that up on stream? That's that's an amazing screenshot that you've managed to get.
Where do you post it?
It's in the F2 general chat.
F2 general. Let me have a look.
I mean, that's quite incredible, isn't it?
Oh yes, that is. Yeah, that'll be the thumbnail for the next stream, I think.
Excellent.
That indeed is. That's how Skip Barber cars are made. Yeah. So I mean, we alluded to it there in the interviews, but we've got a season 6 in SLR starts this week coming. Starting on Thursday, sorry.
Wednesday, yep.
Wednesday,
Tier
yeah.
4 on Wednesday, yeah, and then Tier 3 Thursday, 2 on Friday, and Tier 1 on Saturday.
Yeah, and then tomorrow night we have the ACC and 2SRL. They start off their season. I think it's season 9 for those guys, and they'll be on Tuesday, so they kick off their new season then. We will be synced up as we always are, but I'm very much looking forward to that. I mean, you're racing in Tier 4 along with me, so that'll be the first one. I'm a bit nervous about it. I haven't put any practice in whatsoever, so that might help alleviate some nerves.
I'm the other way around because I have been putting practice in, so I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself. If I don't perform now, that's going to be awful.
You see, you dominate. Yeah. You're going to win.
I don't think it'll be quite that.
Well, tune in to find out on Wednesday, I guess. But that's it from myself and Boosted Mess. Thanks again for joining us. And in the F2 season 3, we'll be back again next week with Bahrain Short. Until then, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Yep. Have a good evening, everyone. And we'll see you later.